So, welcome everybody. My name is Danish Damani. I first learned about AI about 12 years ago. I was in high school in Mombasa and I had to write a research paper on can machines think? And that was my inception of even the word AI. And fast forward a few years from then, I launched my first AI app called Ori in 2017. So about 7 to 8 years ago. And that's helping people improve their public speaking skills around the world. And recently, I've partnered up with my close friend Nadim Nasser to help people understand AI better. Our goal is to democratize AI, and with that, we run free webinars like this about twice a month. Nadim has one this Thursday. We also run a paid course, and that paid course is starting on November 5th. And the idea of that is to help anybody demystify what AI is, what tools they should be using, how they can actually future-proof their career, and be ready and prepared for this new world that is to come. And with that, let's dive into AI agents. What is AI agents? Why are they important? And we'll hear all of that. Let's begin.
AI, more agentic capabilities,
An AI agent.
Agents.
agentic workflows.
Agentic.
As you can see from that, every world leader is talking about AI. And more recently, in the last 8 months or so, they are now shifting from just talking about AI to now also talking about agents and agentic workflows and agentic AI. So, what is this? And that's the topic for today. Now, I read this wonderful report by Microsoft called the Microsoft Work Trend Index of 2025. And they talk about this agentic opportunity as three phases. So, phase one is humans working with an AI assistant, where every employee in the workplace has an AI assistant that helps them work better and faster. If that is you, give me the word faster in chat to let me know that you are in phase one. And today, AI is helping you work faster or work better just because of the knowledge capacity that it has. And from like just talking to my peers, I'm feeling like at least 50% of people are already at phase one. Those who are in tech, those who are getting access to courses like this, they are already using ChatGPT or Claude or even Gemini to work better and faster. Now, phase two is human agent teams, where agents join your team as actual digital colleagues or interns, where they take on specific tasks at your direction. Now, not many people are here yet because they're still learning about AI, but there are certain teams like I spoke to someone at Meta just yesterday, and he told me that they have these agents that anyone can start onboarding onto their team to start getting work done. Like, this is not fantasy, this is actually happening right now. But very, very few companies are taking hold of this right now. And phase three, this is not happening as much. It's more in the experimental stage where you have the human led and agents are actually getting bulk of the work done. Where the human is like the CEO. The human is setting the direction and agents are executing the business processes and workflows, and humans can check in as needed, just like a boss or a manager. These are called agent swarms. And trust me or not, people are actually experimenting with this and it's coming sooner rather than later. So then what is the definition of agent? So the same report says that an AI agent is an AI powered system that can reason, plan, and act. So remember those three words: reason, plan, and act to complete tasks or entire workflows autonomously. Now, I have my own simpler definition as well of what an agent is, and I like to define it as a digital colleague or an intern, someone or something that has a college level degree that can get shit done for you, that you can tell it to do something and it can reason, it can plan, and it can act and get your work done. So the first question is ChatGPT an AI agent? What do you think? Let me know in the chat box. Do you think ChatGPT is an AI agent? Yes or no? Karima says depends on what level. All right, I'm seeing like a 50-50. You know what? To break the tie, why don't we just ask ChatGPT that question? So I'm going to ask ChatGPT, is ChatGPT an AI agent? And the answer is it actually depends on what you're using it for. So for example, if I'm just asking ChatGPT a question where I'm giving it an input and it's giving me an output just like that, then you're not using it as an agent. You're just using it as a simple LLM, a large language model. You give it an input, it processes it, and it gives you an output. In that case, is it doing a task for you? Is it taking an action for you on your behalf, getting a task done? No. So it depends, and we'll come to how it can be used as a AI agent. But if you're just using it to ask questions or to sometimes process and summarize things, not quite agentic yet. What is also not an agent is an automation. Now, what is the meaning of automation? Automation is like a rule-based system that you create. If something happens, then do this, right? You have like predefined steps, like a complex Excel formula or an email marketing drip sequence where you send email one, you wait 3 days or wait for the customer or the client to open up your email, and then sends email number two. That is an automation. This is not an agent. Next up comes AI workflows. Now, is this an AI agent? Some people will say yes, some people will say no. I will show you what it is, and then you can decide whether it feels like an agent or not, right? It is definitely higher up in the agency scale compared to an automation. So this is the scale of agency. Agency means ability to take actions by itself, autonomously, plan, execute, and act, right? Reasoning. So what's an AI workflow? AI workflow requires two main things, right? So you have ChatGPT, which is like an LLM, and you're connecting it with two things. One is tools. So tools or apps like Google Calendar, an IDE, which is a coding editor, your CRM, or web search. These are tools. The other thing you're giving access to an AI workflow is your data. So in your calendar, it's getting access to your calendar events, it's getting access to your emails, or from your CRM, it's getting access to your customer profiles. Now, if it has access to these things, it becomes really powerful. I want you to think back to my definition of what an AI agent is, a digital colleague or an intern. If I had intern X, and you give this intern or a colleague access to the tools you use, access to the data in those tools, would it be able to have agency and do tasks for you? Yeah. If this person has a college level degree, it could actually take care of 50% of your tasks, your day-to-day tasks. Using the tools, it has access, and it has access to the data in the tools. So that's what an AI workflow is, which is an automation, but you're adding an LLM to it. So it can do reasoning. And sometimes it can even take actions. An example of it would be instead of just a normal drip campaign, a smarter email sequence where the system adjusts the tone, length, and subject line based on the customer persona. Or a customer support triage system where the automation, the AI workflow, automatically can classify all the support tickets that you get, label them with urgency, and route them where it needs to go. So let's look at an example of an AI workflow. One of the tools I like to use to create AI agents and AI workflows is called Lindy.ai. It's a no-code agent builder or AI workflow builder. So this is one example that I've created. In this workflow, what it does is it has access to my emails. So whenever an email is received, it adds a label to the email. I've given it a prompt. So on what basis to add different labels to my email. And then I've added a condition. So if the email is important based on my criterias, I want it to get passed through this flow. And then I want it to actually draft a reply. So I've given it a prompt to do that too. Draft a concise, again, based on my tone. And in my emails, I don't like to say, I hope this email finds you well. So I've customized this body to the way I do it. Let me show it to you in practice. So why don't I go ahead? I've drafted an email. So I presented on Saturday at an AI conference, and this was one of the emails that they sent me last week to give me the logistics of the event and to make sure that there was an action item where they needed the slide deck in advance. So I'm going to send this to myself from one of my emails, and we're going to wait for that email to pop up in my mailbox. And then as soon as it pops up, the idea would be my agent will run and it will automatically analyze the email and write a draft of it. No email yet. Okay. That's why we have, it didn't come through. That's why we have another draft. So here's when I sent it earlier to myself. It saw the email and it automatically drafted a reply for me that I can just wait to hit send. Like, thanks for the follow-up. I'll have the presentation deck ready in the morning, and I've noted the logistics. I'll be there an hour before. And if I want, I can make any edits before sending out the email. So that's how this particular AI workflow works. Okay, let's go on to the third one, which is agentic workflow. So this is on the spectrum of agency, the highest. In this case, you don't need to per se create predefined steps. You just give it a goal and it just gets the work done for you, just like a fully autonomous human being. So the definition of this, remember, is something that can reason, plan, and act across multiple systems to achieve a goal, not just respond to a message, but to actually achieve the goal. So an example could be a sales agent, where the agent does exactly what a salesperson does. It analyzes your customer behavior, it drafts custom follow-up emails, updates the CRM based on that, and can schedule your next outreach to your lead until the goal is hit, which is meeting is booked. Or another example is a customer success agent that can actually see all the incoming emails and chat messages. It can respond intelligently and escalate complex issues to humans if need be. Companies are actually using this. One example of a company is called Klarna, Klarna. They have published studies that said that they save, I think, more than $10 million replacing about 500 or so customer success agents because they've just built these agentic tools in-house that can just get the stuff done. So let's look at an example. Remember at the beginning, I asked if ChatGPT was an agent? Let's see how it can actually have agentic capabilities. So here's a prompt that I've written. You are an operations analyst. Analyze the customer data and generate the positive and negative themes, do some correlation insights, and I wanted to visualize the data. And then I've copy pasted some data. So let's see how it runs this. So it's analyzing. And when I open that, look, what it's doing is it's writing a Python code. And it's doing it inside a tool or an app called an IDE, somewhere where you write code and run code. So automatically, without even me telling it what to do or how to do it, it can automatically spin up tools by itself, like a IDE. It can start typing in code. It can run code by itself, and with code, it can create visualizations as well. So it used a tool to then create its own charts, right? If I was thinking of this as a digital colleague, right, or an intern, it would have done something similar. Maybe it might have used a tool called Excel or Google Sheets. The intern would have put in the data, and then inside Google Sheets or Excel, start creating these charts and then presenting to me in a way that the analysis actually makes sense. Like this is quality work. You might pay someone $50 per hour, $100 per hour to do this. And it did it so quickly for just 10 rows of data. It can do it as quickly, even if I had 10,000 rows of data, right? That's how powerful agentic capabilities are. Let me show you another one. This one is in Lindy. This is called a lead researcher. So the agent, what it does, given this prompt and told it what tools it has access to. Tools again are like apps. So you can use Perplexity, you can search the web, and you can look at the person's profile on LinkedIn. So I've run this task already, and the way it did, again, I just told it Danish Damani or I. And now it said, okay, I'll help you enrich and find comprehensive information about Danish Damani. So it searched the internet, searched Perplexity, searched the internet, found the LinkedIn profile, scraped the LinkedIn profile, got that data, did some more search based on what they found on LinkedIn, more search until after 2 minutes of searching, like the agent just runs itself until the task is completed, right? That's what the end goal is. Finish once the task is complete. And what do I get at the very end? A very comprehensive report on Danish Damani. I don't know how it found my email online, knows where I'm born, what schools I went to, what I did in school, like what languages I speak. So this is like, imagine getting this information for any lead if you're in sales, and you don't even have to do it one by one. Like you could edit this flow, add loops, connect it to a Google Sheet, and all you do is say, here are 30 or 100 names of leads, do the research, and fill out these rows for each one of them. This is a reality that people are doing right now. So this is another agentic capability. And this is something in the course that Nadim and I are running. We actually teach how to not just think about what to automate, but how to actually automate this in 4 weeks so that you can save time and money and maybe even get a promotion. So this is Lindy. I'll give one and final example of an agent, and that is Gamma. Gamma has agentic capabilities to build your entire slide deck, right? So I did this conference on Saturday. Why don't I just copy paste the title and the subtitle of this presentation that I was doing, and then let's see if it can just create the entire deck instead of me spending hours on the deck that I created. Can AI reason, plan, and act? So it can think about the topic, it can do some reasoning behind it, it can do some research. Acting is doing research, and then acting to also then go ahead and create it. So it came up with an outline. Let's say I like it. I have no changes there. And then I hit generate. Uh, my hands are not on the keyboard. Like this is the AI agent automatically creating an entire slide deck, like for this presentation on AI agents. This is cool. This is where we are today. Now, I don't recommend you um, to outsource all your critical thinking to AI. I'm not saying that. I believe human beings are smart and can come up with their own new novel knowledge. So don't outsource all your thinking to AI. Do your human draft first before going to AI to guide you to do some things better. So that's an example of an AI agent as well. Now, I'll give you a caveat here. For majority of the tasks, agentic workflows are too complicated and they actually have low reliability, at least right now. So majority of the tasks you do, you might not need to use an AI agent. A simple automation can actually get your work done. So just because everyone is talking about AI agents doesn't mean you start building AI agents for your task. Think about the task, see if a normal automation or an AI workflow can do it. If not, then go to an AI agent. But this is a reality right now. Agents do have high hallucinations because they have lesser guardrails and can just act on their own agency. And so the scalability and the reliability isn't that high yet. Now that will change and is changing every single day. So the fact that you're learning about this now, you're already ahead of the curve because 6 months from now, the world will already be a different page on how it can actually get stuff done. So that's one important point for agentic workflows. Now, as I said at the beginning, the technical definition of an agent would you'd have to use an agentic workflow to get that. But I believe that an AI agent is a digital colleague and intern who can get work done. So I personally and a few other people would bucket AI workflow also under the definition of an AI agent. But technically speaking, you have to have full agentic workflows to have an AI agent. So now going back to this Microsoft report, right? Now you can start seeing if an AI can do sales for you, it can do customer support for you, it can be your executive assistant and manage your mailbox. You can start seeing how we can get human agent teams very, very soon across multiple organizations. In fact, if you want to look at an org chart, this is an agentic org chart. So depending on what function you are, so let's say if you are here watching this and you're in marketing, what tasks do you do today that fall under some of these agents? If you're in the revenue team for your company, what tasks do you do that falls under some of these agents? If you're a PM or an engineer or a designer, what do you do here that an agent could do for you? And if you're in operations and HR, what do you do? here that an agent could do for you. These are real agents. Some companies are using them to get job done. Now, are you worried that your job might be taken away? I don't think so. Because AI agents aren't replacing you. They are waiting for you to build and command them. They're waiting for you. And the fact that you are here, you're already ahead of the curve. You're learning what is coming. This is the future of work. And now you just need to get your skills up to start building them and commanding them. And if you'd like to continue engaging with us, you can join my WhatsApp group. I share some AI resources over there. I'll share the slide deck over there as well as the recording and any cool tools I come across that are new, novel, and I think is changing the way I work. I share there as well. And then lastly, because you all stayed, I also give you all a $150 code in case you're interested in our course, which again is starting next week, Friday, in partnership with Nadim from Toronto, where you can actually upskill very quickly in 4 weeks. I am a proponent of learning AI in bite-sized modules versus going back to college to do a master's program or doing a 6 month long certification from an, let's say, Harvard, because AI is moving so rapidly that you want to learn the latest thing. In fact, our course is next week, and Nadim and I are sitting down this week to finalize our curriculum because the world and the landscape and the tools are changing so rapidly. So whatever you get is going to be the latest and the greatest information. And with that, I want to thank you for attending, for upskilling yourself, and I'll stick back for 5 minutes for any questions or answers. Thank you.
I had a question, Danish. Thank you for this.